Okay, that was kind of weird. How's everybody doing? I have no idea what's going on with the camera tonight. I started quite some time ago, and I've had no luck getting it to work till just now. So, how's everybody doing? Fona, what's up? How are we doing tonight? Nice to see you back. All right, well, welcome to Randsanity, episode 218. 218 days of giving you the news and information that is this. So tonight I've got some information, stuff about Billy Corrigan, good old Smashing Pumpkins Billy Corrigan, always dealing with some weird crap in Billy Corrigan. Maybe a little Depeche Mode news, some music history, some births and deaths, maybe a little miscellaneous stuff like, did you know that today, 1945, January 5th, Pepe Le Pew was born? Right, Pepe Le Pew, the Warner Brothers cartoon, the crazy skunk, the cat skunk, you know, the one that always goes after the cat that thinks is a skunk. Well, yeah, Pepe Le Pew, born today in 1945. 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 2005, 2015, 2025. Holy crap, 80 years old, 79 years old today. That's an old-ass cat, 79-year-old cat. All right, I love that. That's a beautiful thing, right? Depressed mode, stop it. Come on. Dave Gahan's great. Who doesn't love Dave Gahan? I love Depeche Mode. I mean, they're one of those bands you can't really hate Depeche Mode, all right? I mean, come on. They've got some good stuff, all right? So, anyway. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So, Billy Corrigan of Smashing Pumpkins. All right. He's no stranger to many things, the words, kind of weirder elements, all right? He's even mysteriously claimed that government officials have approached him to be involved in, quote unquote, things that were just way above my pay grade. All right. I guess this enigmatic revelation came during an episode of Billy's podcast, The Magnificent Others. The musician was talking with writer and culture commentator Conrad Flynn when the conversation turned to somewhat conspiratorial. Billy said, well, at different times, I've been approached by elements of the U.S. government to be involved in things that were just above my pay grade. I've never talked about them in a depth publicly, but I've had experiences where I would find myself in a room with people and think, why are they talking to me? It was something out of like Eyes Wide Shut. All right. Flynn asked Corrigan what was said to him in these clandestine meetings by the guitarist wasn't in a divulging mood. I'm not going to tell you because I haven't talked about it. I can certainly talk about it in a weird kind of way. I'm sorry, I just wanted to be like, all right, well, I guess that's what we're going to do with Billy Corrigan. Corrigan then compared the situation to something he's dealt with before. It's similar to when I've talked about experiencing a shapeshifter on Howard Stern, he explained. It became this thing where I was haunted in airports. Please tell me the shapeshifter story. I want to know. All I can say is I've experienced supernatural things, he continued, and I've experienced things where I've had elements of the U.S. government reach out to me because they somehow want to hook my influence. Which is not great into whatever they're after. So, having had personal experience of this, and of course there's lots of other insinuations, and certainly would say, sitting here quietly, openly, it seems very, very obvious to me that there are elements in the popular music where people have been compared, compromised, and knowingly because they were offered kind of a Faustian bargain. Pick door number 1, and we're going to push you to the moon. Interesting. Because in music, there is certainty in my area of expertise, Corrigan continued. There are people who are protected. they get every benefit of the protection. I know it because I know the game, because I've lived it. And there are other people where they decide to press a button and throw them off the ship. He added, right now, it might be because they're engaging in bad behavior. We've talked a little bit about that, he said. Finally, Corrigan said, but in other cases, I just think it's because they won't do the bidding that people want them to do. A little conspiratorial? A little conspiratorial. All right, I don't know. That's really conspiratorial. Billy Corrigan definitely sounding a bit paranoid, little conspiratorial. I'm gonna say I've got to go with that. I like Billy Corrigan. Don't get me wrong, but that's definitely conspiratorial without a question. It just feels a little conspiratorial. I'm just saying. I mean, right? Am I mistaken by this? By thinking that this is a little conspiratorial? That it sounded that way? It just, I don't know. That definitely sounded a little over the top for just anybody. All right. Well, here's something ridiculous and conspiratorial then. In 1989, on the 5th of January, 2 French newsmen were arrested at JFK Airport for attempting to plant 3 fake bombs on 3 different airlines to test security for a news report. Bro, what are you thinking? Yeah, you're going to get arrested. I don't care if you're a French journalist or not. You can't plant fake bombs on planes. Oh, Jesus. All right, the Beatles played Lilithland Town Hall in Liverpool. In the audience were members Rory Storm of the Hurricanes and Johnny Guitar, who happened to be, as well as Ringo Starr, who had just returned from Hamburg, Germany. In 1964, the Rolling Stones performed at the Ricky Tick Club in the Olympia Ballroom in Reading, England. During the 1960s, apparently the club was host to many important acts such as The Who, Jimi Hendrix, Pink Floyd, Cream. Even the Yardbirds filmed performances there in a recreation of the club built at the MGM Studios in Michelangelo's 1966 film Blow Up. Okay? I didn't see that film, so I don't know. In 1965, the Supremes spent the first of 3 sessions at Hitsville, USA, Studio A, recording Stop in the Name of Love Before You. Yeah, I can't sing that. I don't have that falsetto. I'd have to be much, my voice would have to be much higher to get away with that one. I can probably sing a few things, but definitely the Supremes, that's not me, man. I don't have that. It ain't me, babe. No, it ain't. I don't have that one either. Hey, that's why I got into radio, okay? I'm a radio expert. I'm not a song expert because I can't sing. That's all I'm telling you, all right? In 1967, Pink Floyd and Eyes of Blue apparently appeared at the Marquee Club in London, England. Queen magazine said the 2 guitarists looked moody. The drummer thrashed wildly about and the lights kept flashing. After about 20 minutes, it became very boring, and after half an hour, I left. All right. Well, that sounds like that was not your best experience ever then, sir. I don't know who went to that, but they didn't like it. Oh, poor Jimi Hendrix, jailed in Stockholm, Sweden for 1 day on drink charges after going berserk and destroying everything in his room at the Gothenburg Hotel. Why do musicians do that? There's a Hyatt Regency on Sunset Strip in Los Angeles. It's called the Riot House. Because it was destroyed, rooms were destroyed by like Led Zeppelin and a bunch of other bands. It's infamously known as the Riot House. So I've actually stayed in that hotel intentionally. But why do musicians do that? Get drunk and trash a hotel? I've never trashed a hotel, and I've been drunk in hotels. I'm not going to lie. but I've never trashed one. Maybe it's because I can't afford to. I guess if you have like all the money and you feel like, I can just destroy this and it won't matter because somebody else will pay for it. But I've never trashed a hotel. I can say it. I did trash someone's kitchen. I will say that. And I definitely trashed someone's basement once. It was a party. We all trashed it. But it was, trashed to the point where we had to like climb up out of the basement because the stairs got ripped down. Yeah, that's trashed. Just so you know, that's really trashed. In 1969, during the band's first North American tour, Led Zeppelin played the last of 4 nights at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Los Angeles, California, with Alice Cooper as the opening act. Led Zeppelin were billed as Led Zeppelin, featuring Jimmy Page, formerly of the Yardbirds. We talked about that the other night when them Crooked Vultures came in. And I got to meet, it was John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin, bassist John Paul Jones, and Dave Grohl and Josh Homme. I didn't give a shit about Josh Homme or Dave Grohl. I really didn't. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, nice to see you. Great. I'll see you again. I spent my entire fleeting moments that I could with John Paul Jones because I was like, dude, this is the legend right here. These guys will be that way someday. And I said, yeah, I've met them, but yeah, I wanted to see this guy because, whoo, yeah, that's the way to go right there. Let's see. When Mitch Hedberg died of cocaine and heroin and was posted on the news, people thought it was an April Fool's Day joke. Didn't know until now, right? Yeah, that's nope, not correct. Not correct. Not a joke. Yeah, people, that's called death by misadventure, just so you know. If you die of a drug overdose at some point past the age of like 18, it's death by misadventure because you have in fact intentionally done that. So it didn't happen by accident. It wasn't an accidental overdose. I mean, you didn't accidentally snort that pound of cocaine, did you? No. You didn't accidentally shoot too much heroin. No, you shot heroin. You took the risk. It's death by misadventure. Just keep that in mind, ever. 1973, Bruce Springsteen released his debut album, Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. Recorded in a single week, the album only sold about 25,000 copies in the first year of its release. Both Blinded by the Light and Spirit in the Night were released as singles, but neither made a dent in the charts. Manfred Mann's Earth Band later released a version of Blinded by the Light on their album, The Roaring Silence, which reached #1 on the U.S. charts in 1977. So yes, Bruce didn't exactly get that overwhelming explosion of popularity immediately. It took him a few decades to actually get and become that legend that is the Jersey Shore guy. Now this one, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Mal Evans, former Beatles roadie, was shot dead by police in his Los Angeles apartment. I read this in one place and I had to go dig a little deeper because it said, killed by, it said death by police. I'm like, wait, death by police? I'm like, what does that actually mean? So the story is that, yes, Mal Evans was shot dead by police in his Los Angeles apartment. So apparently his girlfriend called police when she found Evans upset with a rifle in his hand. He pointed the gun at the police who opened fire. Friends later said that Evans was depressed about his separation from his wife, Lil Evans, who had asked for a divorce before Christmas. Yeah, so I guess that's when you say that's death by police. I mean, if you're going to point a gun at a cop, most likely it's going to end badly for you. There's not going to be a lot of leeway on that one, sir. So Mal Evans, man, what up with that one, bro? Not your best move ever. I'm just saying, just saying. Don't do that, okay? Just not the way to go. We speak about the Purple Man last night, who got a big push from Stranger Things finale on New Year's Eve. Prince made his live debut in 1979 on January the 5th at the Capri Theater in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Warner Brothers executives attended the show, but they decided that Prince and the band needed more time to develop his music. So Warner Brothers passed. It happens, you think about that. He's not ready yet. Pass. Well, that's what happens to those executives. Is always curious about that. What happened to that executive that passed on Prince? What the fuck, bro? You're fired! In 1980, David Bowie appeared on Saturday Night live from New York, performing The Man Who Sold the World. TVC 15 and Boys Keep Swinging with a specially prepared backing group including Blondie, Jimmy Dester on keyboards, and Klaus Nomi and Joey Arcis on backing vocals. Wow, I will definitely go see if I could find that one. That would be nice to see. Find the David Bowie Saturday Night Live episode. The Man Who Sold the World and TVC 15. Whew. I will look for that one. In 1989, winners in Music Weekly Melody Makers Reader Poll results were: The Mission won Best Band, Best Live Act, Best Single, and Best Album. Morrissey won Best Male Singer. Julian Reagan from All About Eve, Best Female Singer. Worst LP went to Brothers with Push, and Best New Band was House of Love. Oh, Morrissey. Now this one, I was like, really? 1991, Iron Maiden went to #1 on the UK singles chart with Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. I was like, holy shit. I was like, all right. I didn't realize that Iron Maiden ever had a #1 anything. But all right, there you go. Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter by Iron Maiden, #1. It was the second single from their album No Prayers for the Dying. It became the lowest selling #1 since 1960 with just over 42,000 copies sold in its first week. The song was originally recorded and released by Bruce Dickinson for the soundtrack of A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, A Dream Child. So that's why I was like, really? Yeah, so that made all the sense in the world that it was the lowest selling #1 since 1960. Iron Maiden #1, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. All right. I mean, look, they just had a lot of fans at some moment going, choose me, choose me. Now, we've talked about Sonny and Cher before. I've talked about Sonny Bono. He was a congressman, all this stuff. This is the day that he died. Now, oddly enough, he died at a place called Heavenly. I mean, I know. Heavenly at Lake Tahoe. He hit a tree skiing, and that was the end of that. So yes, American singer, producer, politician Sonny Bono was killed in a skiing accident at a resort near Lake Tahoe at the age of 62. Yeah, Heavenly was what he did. So, I mean, aptly named as he crashed into a fucking tree. I mean, I've gone tree skiing and I've never hit a tree that hard. But I could see that happening. If you aren't paying attention and you don't have a helmet on, you hit a tree, oh, man. I mean, I was a big ski guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, president of the Ohio State University Ski Club, largest ski club in the country. We did a lot of drinking, but there was a little skiing as well. But anyway, he was half of Sonny and Cher, and he scored the number one hit, I Got You, Babe. He became a U.S. congressman. The United States Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998, which is the one that we talked about, whereas like Bill Haley in the Comets, his copyright was ending when he was still like around in the UK, where in the United States now it's the life of the artist as well as plus 20 years. It extended the term of the copyright by 20 years, was named in honor of Bono when it was passed by Congress 9 months after his death. So it's actually pretty cool that he made that happen. But yes, good old Sonny Bono. Man, Christy McCall was laid to rest in a private funeral ceremony ahead of a public memorial to pay tribute to her life. The singer was killed in a boating accident on the 18th of December in 2000. Another unfortunate and tragic end to a very promising musical career. Did you see how responsive Nirvana doing the Bowie song? Bowie was so right. Yes, it is true. It is very true. Let's see what else we got going on here. Green Day's lead singer Billy Joe Armstrong was arrested on suspicion of drinking and driving after being stopped in California, speeding in his black BMW convertible. He failed a breath test and was taken to Berkeley County Jail and was later released on a $1,000 bail in 2003. Billy Joe Armstrong. Now this one I was like, what? Shit happens to artists all the time, man. But the Kinks singer Ray Davies was shot in the leg while on holiday in New Orleans. Of course he was, in New Orleans. The 59-year-old singer was shot while running after two men who stole his girlfriend's purse at gunpoint. Davies was admitted to the medical center of Louisiana, but his injuries were not considered serious. New Orleans police said one person had been arrested, and police were still searching for the second. All right, real life hero. You're a rock star and you're going to chase guys with guns. I say, let him have the purse. That's just as me. If you don't have something of real vital importance in there, let the purse go. I don't think you need to get shot. That's just me. I just personally would not want to get shot while chasing after a purse. Donald Fagen, what the fuck? Gets the douche of the day award. Donald Fagen, lead singer and founder of Steely Dan, was arrested by New York police and charged with assaulting his wife at their home. Donald Fagen, what the actual fuck? He was accused of pushing Libby Titus into a marble window frame, knocking her to the ground in their Manhattan apartment. In 2016. Come on, man. What is with that? There's no need for the violence, bro. Come on. You don't hit women. You don't need to do that. Just saying. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now this one I was like, please no. But I guess, someone has to do it, right? In 2024, Royal Mail announced it was issuing a set of 15 stamps celebrating the Spice Girls. I know. One of the world's most successful pop groups as they marked their 30th anniversary. Really? Are they really one of the world's most successful pop groups? I don't know. I don't feel I don't feel the Spice Girls are that. I guess I just never paid attention. Anyway, the stamps were set to feature images from the performance from 1997 to 2012, including at the Brit Awards in 1997 and at the closing ceremony of the London 2012 Olympic Games. Again, the Spice Girls, really? I don't know. Tell me that that's real, okay? What's this? Your old boss flew down 100 feet from a mountain skiing, Trenton. Yeah, well, I've done that. I've done some crazy skiing. There's a picture of me that's skiing, jumping off like a 30-foot cliff in Colorado. I was quite the crazy ski guy. There's no photograph of this, but there's this very scary moment in my life when I went skiing once, and I think we were in Utah, and kind of went down a avalanche chute. Probably shouldn't have gone down. It was really narrow, really steep. As they say, steep and deep. And when I got to the end, I didn't realize that it was a pretty substantial cliff. And my choice was pretty easy. Stop, fall, die, or ski off it and keep going. Well, I skied off it and, I kept going, but landed way far down, upside down in this deep snow. Thankfully, there wasn't a rock in the deep snow because that would have been the end of me because I hit the ground really, really hard from a really high up area. And it was really kind of frightening. I definitely, I had to get dug out by my friends. But yeah, so I think that was the last time I did one of those really, really ridiculously stupid jumps. But I'm not going to promise that it was the last because I probably did other ones. Sorry. It happens. It happens. What can I tell you? It's not. I'm not subject to would have, could have, should haves. That's not going to be my You won't see this my epitaph, all right? There won't be a lot of would have, could have, should have's. Well, I would have, could have, and should have. Nah, should have. No. Yeah, that's not what you're gonna read when you read my epitaph someday. All right. Well, let's talk about a little about our friends Depeche Mode. These guys are a little bit in the music history news tonight. So, Depeche Mode's first announced their epic concert film, M, in April of 25. At the time, they shared that they'd compiled footage from shows during their Memento Mori World Tour. The film combined footage from 3 sold-out nights in Mexico City, drawing nearly 200,000 fans. Now the film is set to stream within the week. For fans in the US, the UK, and Europe, M will be available on Netflix starting Friday, January 9th. Initially, it premiered at the 2025 Tribeca Film Festival, where it was highly praised. In October, it screened to more than 2,500 theaters in 60 countries. Depeche Mode also offered a physical release of the live album later that month. M is a cinematic musical feat that goes beyond your typical concert film, directed by filmmaker Fernando Flores de la Parra. It is as much an exploration of Mexico City as it is a celebration of Depeche Mode. The two are linked much more deeply than they might seem. According to Frias, the decision to shoot the film in Mexico City was deliberate. Depeche Mode are like a religion in Mexico, he told NME in September of 25. Additionally, the tone of the band's 2023 album, Memento Mori, focused on coming back after the pandemic and the loss of founding member Andrew Fletcher, said Frias. So, they wanted to be focused on the show and the message of the album. The album's theme of death combined with the fan base in Mexico and the country's existing death culture made for a unique film experience. There are so many generations in Mexico who love them and think they're essential, said Frias, about Depeche Mode's influence. That's why the band chose to shoot it in Mexico. I've been to see them in other countries because I wanted to get familiar with them before shooting. It's very different. Per the new description of the film for Netflix, M is a documentary that explores Mexico's relationship with music, mortality, and the tradition framed by synth pop band Depeche Mode's sold-out run in Mexico City. All right, sold me. I will read it. I will watch it. I will do all those things because I have Netflix. So I will do that on Friday night. I mean, I don't know if I'll watch it on Friday. That's when it's going to be released, but yes, I will definitely catch M on Netflix, Depeche Mode's release, because it sounds like it'll be pretty damn good. But I like that, the death culture of Mexico City. All right. I didn't know there was a death culture of Mexico City, but I guess there is. Personal Jesus, yes. My own personal Jesus. My own personal Jesus. All right. Now, this one I was like, really? All right. In 1978, the Sex Pistols started their final tour in Atlanta, Georgia, of all places. 1978, final tour for the punkest punk band ever was in Atlanta, Georgia on this date, the 5th of January, 1989. In 1959, Buddy Holly released his last record, It Doesn't Matter. Because 29 days from now, back in 1959, Buddy Holly was killed along with the Big Bopper and a couple others in an airplane crash. Another artist to go down in one of those clunker airplanes. I'm telling you, fly commercial, people. Stop flying these damn crop dusters. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, wait, what the hell? That camera went off too? Holy shit, I'm having all sorts of cameras issues. I don't know what's going on here. This is just ridiculous tonight. All right, there we go. That's just... Cameras were not... Do you like... By the start of January, is this like, is Mars in retrograde or one of these stupid things, Venus in retrograde, or one of these things that everyone was like, don't touch electronics, don't deal with new business dealings, don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't follow that stuff enough, but I would say it's real because my electronic stuff today has just been wackadoodle. Nothing seems to be working properly. All right, in 2023, according to whatever, this TV show that looks for genealogy, Pocahontas, a real thing, okay, this is not just made up. Pocahontas is the 12th great grandmother to actor Edward Norton. This was discovered on a PBS show. I guess we won't be doing that anymore because if I didn't hear incorrectly, PBS is no more. They're done. Today they announced that PBS will end all public broadcasting, and that will be the end of PBS. They're pulling the plug on themselves. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking ballsy. That's a big thing. All right, whether you believe it or not, that's actually a really big thing for PBS to bail. All right, so we won't find out that Edward Norton was related to Pocahontas as his 12th great grandmother. So I guess they're saying the 12th instead of saying great grandmother. It's easier to say 12th, right? 12th great grandmother as opposed to great 12 times. This is me. I'm just saying. All right. Births and deaths. Who was born today and who died today? Let's see. So, born today. We'll do the born todays first, since we already did a couple of deaths. Born today, George Reeves. Now, not related to Christopher Reeves, as far as I could tell, but George Reeves is the guy who played Superman on TV first. He died, but he would have been 111 years old today. Now, if he really was Superman, wouldn't he still be here because he's super? I'm just saying. Robert Duvall, Apocalypse Now, The Godfather, and many other movies. 95 today. Good job, Robert Duvall. And still acting. It says, when I looked at his Wikipedia profile, it says active years, still active. Active at 95. Holy crap. Give that man a cigar. That's outstanding. I love the fact that Robert Duvall is still active at 95 years old. I mean, Dick Van Dyke, active at 100. Betty White was active at 99. Shit, man, longevity. Right on. Diane Keaton. She would have been 80 today. She died last year, unfortunately. Ted Lang. Isaac from The Love Boat. 79 today. I don't know if we want to call him what? Shock Rock, Marilyn Manson. 57 today. Marilyn Manson's had some legal issues recently with his accusations of all sorts of shenanigans that you probably shouldn't be accused of, that at least you don't want to get accused of, Marilyn Manson. He'll be playing this summer, or this May, actually. He'll be at Sonic Temple here in Columbus, Ohio. Sonic Temple, it's a pretty solid metal lineup. It actually has a couple of bands that I talked about as the top 5 bands of 25, metal bands of 25 are playing at it. So go check out the lineup of Sonic Temple if you're going to be in the area. Or if not, it's definitely make a nice road trip. We can hang out together and check out Sonic Temple. Should be a good thing. Also born on this day, Bradley Cooper, actor Bradley Cooper, 51 years old. Chris Stein, co-founder of Blondie, 76 today. Brian Hitt of REO Speedwagon, 66 today. Kate Schallenbaugh of Luscious Jackson, 60 years old today. Troy Van Leeuwen, Queens of the Stone Age. Hung out with Troy before. He's a fucking rock star, dude. For reals. 56. And Matt Watcher of 32nd to Mars, 50 years old today. I mean, he was in 30 Seconds to Mars. I believe he's out, was a couple of years out now. And then on the death list, I only had the two people that I wrote down. One, of course, was Sonny Bono, who died at the age of 62 after smacking into a tree in heavenly Lake Tahoe. I mean, if you're going to do it, you're already there. You're already in heaven. So at least you know where he went, right? And Marie Madeline Silveira. You know who that is? Elvira. Lady of the Night, Elvira. Queen of the movies. Died at the age of 80. So that's when we lost Elvira at the age of 80. And that was some years ago. I didn't realize that she had died a long time ago. I guess I haven't been paying enough attention to Elvira. Just saying. Oh, shit. All right. So that's it. There's not a lot. It was a little bit short tonight because there was not a ton of stuff going on. Like I said, the industry is still a little bit slow. We haven't gotten back up to full speed yet in the music industry, just because it's that time of year. We run into this whole comment redacted. Oh, shit. What are you redacting over here? I see comments redacted. When someone has to redact a comment, you know they said something, some sort of shenanigans they probably shouldn't have been saying. That's just me. I could be mistaken. It's unlikely. But you never know. Let's see. Do I have other stuff? I don't think I have other things. I could look for other stuff, but I didn't think I found anything else. There was nothing really that was overly exciting. There was a couple of, like I said, some births and deaths and stuff, but nothing too crazy. Right now we're looking at, if you want to look at who is the strong artists that are out there playing right now as of media base. So these are the ones that are kind of power index. Lady Gaga's number one. Behind is Bad Bunny, followed by Ed Sheeran, Kendrick Lamar, Mariah Carey, Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, Shakira, Doja Cat, and Dua Lipa. These are all, this is this power index on ticket sales. So that's who's selling tickets right now. The artists that are selling them all. Lady Gaga selling the most with streaming and airplay, and most with live. So she's kicking ass right now. The Gaga lady, Worldwide active tours, average tickets sold by shows performed over the last 30 days. Shakira, number one. Right behind is Lady Gaga. Then Radiohead, Louis Capaldi, Mumford & Son, who I saw is going to be out on tour. We mentioned some dates of that. Rufus Del Sol, Doja Cat, Maroon 5, The Offspring, and Brandy, or Monica Brandy. Those are your top 10 of the Live 75, the ranking of the world active tours. And, the Global Concert Pulse ranks artists by reported average box office gross over the last 3 months. Chris Brown, highest, then followed by the Eagles, Shakira, Lady Gaga, Imagine Dragon, Guns N' Roses, 17, Dua Lipa, Billie Eilish, and Stevie Nicks. I mean, Chris Brown's up near like 6 million. I mean, that's not too shabby. Average gross for, gross for your 3 months. Gotta not hate that. But that's about it. There's, like I said, the industry's slow. The tours aren't happening just yet. The concert announcements are just starting to happen now. We're just starting to see when the shows are going to come out, so we can start talking about what's happening now and who's going to be doing the biggest shows, and who's going to be out doing the most of all of the good stuff. Let's see if I can see if any of the club stuff. Nope, that's not a good one. Let's see. Specialty charts. Nah, I don't want to see the UK chart. Do I want to see the UK chart? I don't think I have that one. Let's see. Artists in the UK chart. Nope. Not going to look at them. That's boring. Boring shit. I don't care about the UK charts because it's not they're not going to tour here, right? Anyway. So yes, my adventure for the day. My daughter and wife are selling Gaga to Minneapolis soon via bus. Oh, nice. All right. That should be fun. Go see Minneapolis Lady Gaga. So here's my adventure for today. And this is completely unrelated to music industry. This is just the Randsanity shit. So I got a call today by a friend who I've done some work for, and said that they woke up 4 o'clock in the morning because their dogs were going ballistic because they heard something, and they were sniffing at all the heat registers. And so they have a weird little crawl space basement that you have to access in their garage through like this trap door that you have to lift up, and then there's like this man ladder that you go down. But when you stand like in the basement, like it comes to like right here in my head, so I can look out of the basement and standing in this like pit. And she's like, there's something down there. I hear something was making noise. There was something was wrong. I'm like, all right, it's probably just bunnies, because we found bunnies down there once. I know, it was weird. I was like, how the fuck are the rabbits down here? Another town, there was a squirrel, and the minute I opened the door, the squirrel came running out, and like, you know, she screamed. I almost hit it with a broom because I was like, what the fuck? And thank God we had not opened the garage door, so this thing's running around the garage. So I'm like, open the door, let it out of the damn garage. But anyway, so I opened the door up, and I was very apprehensive, and I was filming, kind of like waiting for something to jump out at me. I mean, it's not like it's a bear or something. You know, it's going to be a squirrel or a raccoon or a possum or a bunny rabbit or something. I never found it. So it was a kind of a false alarm. I did find a hole on the side of the house, though. It was about 4 inches by 4 inches wide. So I spent a couple hours getting some wood and saws, and I had to cut her deck open and fix the hole. But definitely something was in there. So I think she'll sleep a little better tonight knowing that whatever was in her house is no longer in her house. But I was laughing my ass off because I'm like, I don't want to go down there. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, you go down. It's your house. I know. It was more meant in jest than anything. You know, I was like, fine, I'll go do it. I'm not afraid to go downstairs and see what the hell's clanking around in your basement. It's like it's a burglar or anything. It was, you know, some sort of small critter. That's all. So, 50 degrees in Columbus, Ohio today. I'm not sure what the hell. It was like 2 the other day, and today it's 50. So, I wasn't going to hate on it. You know, like if you have to be outside, it wasn't freezy cold, so that was nice. Anyway, so tomorrow, I was going to talk about today. So tomorrow, I will definitely math the math, and I will talk about Snoop Dogg. I'll revisit Snoop Dogg's 80 joint a day habit. And we can do the math and break down exactly how much 80 joints a day translates into when it comes to the quantity, the size, and even how long a joint it would be if you had a 80 joint a day for a year. How long would that joint be? I did figure that out already, and it's horrendously long. Like, really? That would be amazing. You know, that would definitely be, we could do that for the Guinness Book of World Records, I bet. You know, roll a splivvy that long. Oh, maybe that's how we get in the Guinness Book of World Records, right? Oh my God. Would that be the thing? So we should get a Guinness Book of World Records and roll the world's longest spleef. Yes. Oh my God. I might have to see if this can happen. That would be an interesting thing, right? All right. Well, that's my goal then. My goal is I will share tomorrow night the Snoop Dogg 80 joints a day story and what it actually means in terms of that. And I will look at what the reality is if they would even do that. The Guinness Book of World Records, if they would allow such a record to be put into the record books. The world's longest spleef. I don't know. That would be an interesting thing to try. I'll at least give you that, right? All right. On that note, don't forget, I do this every single night at 11 o'clock. So you have to come back. It changes every night. There's always something different and something new. I've been doing radio for over 30 years, so I always have some sort of anecdotal story related to artists or rock stars, musicians, movie stars, whatever, from going out and doing this stuff for all these years. And again, it's usually, did you see in the joint man coat? Nice. So, it's usually something that it pertains to something in the music industry. I always try and bring it back to that. But you never know. It might have something to do with entertainment. This isn't like a Perez Hilton stuff. I'm not gossiping because I really don't care that much. It's more news and information of historical data. Something to wrinkle your brain and give you just a little bit more info about what went on in the world at that point. So, anybody have any questions, comments, concerns this evening? I'm feeling magnanimous, and I feel like I have all sorts of energy left. Oh, I'm fucking exhausted. It was a long week. I mean, this holiday week was long. I feel like I put on 20 pounds. Anybody else eat too much? I definitely ate too much. Too much rich stuff, too much chocolate, too many cakes, too many cookies, too many everythings. Too many dinners that were heavy and steaky. Not really a history question, but I've been hunting for a good place for live bluegrass in Columbus. Oh, wow. Bluegrass. You probably have to look for it, but like the place that was Rambling House probably would go back to having bluegrass. I would definitely say that Natalie's will have bluegrass on occasion in Grandview. So you can definitely look and see what their listing is. They're definitely going to have bluegrass occasionally at Natalie's. I think it's going to be more of a per show basis. So, if you have favorite artists that are, local artists, I would say you have to look at their tour schedule as opposed to venues, because venues don't really have, I would say that most venues don't have a flair for particular brands of music. Some do. Some lean more toward metal or more toward alt pop or something. But grass is going to be a little bit different. So I would definitely say that you would probably have to look more at the actual artists and see where they're performing as opposed to venues. That would be my take on bluegrass in Columbus. Hope that helped. That would be my take. That's my input on it. Yeah, Woodlands too. Yes. Woodlands also. I would say look at Woodlands. They've probably got some good grass as well. There's probably a couple other places. But yeah, I would say look at Woodlands as well. Yes, your shirt is still there. Your shirt is definitely still there. I looked today when I moved the garbage can. All right. On that note, I'm going to let everybody get to bed. It's almost midnight. So I've been here for 48 minutes. At least 48 minutes. Maybe less. Maybe more. I don't know. Who knows? 48 minutes and 30 seconds. Something like that. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and depart and let everybody get some sleep. And appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much. As always, grateful that you're here. I feel blessed and honored that you spend time with me, whether it's for the 3 seconds that most of you do. Because if you're looking for the OnlyFans girl, it's not me. That's not happening. I'm not making $5 million in 5 weeks. I would love to, but I don't think I'm that popular. I don't have that much of an ego. Yes, you will. We'll see you too, Michaela. Besides that, it's all good in the hood. Everyone, enjoy your Monday night, because tomorrow is Tuesday, and before you know it, it'll be the fucking weekend. Jesus. I don't know. All right. So, thank you. I appreciate you all. Remember, try to do good things. The world's a little crazy right now. We need more good deeds. So try and do good deeds. Thank you. Hostile bandana as we fade to black.